So, Andy, let's start with the Mets. How likely is it, and what would it take?
What I'm told is that initially, at least, the Indians are looking for a young, controllable shortstop, young, controllable outfielder. Obviously, one of the Mets' young shortstops, those three, is a no-brainer in this deal. And my next question to sources that I talked to was, could the Mets get away with getting Lindor without having to give up Pete Alonso or Dom Smith? And I got to say, like, this isn't from the Indians. The Indians aren't sharing this information. But among just sort of evaluators around the league that I talked to, there is skepticism that the Mets could get Lindor even for a year without having to talk about an Alonso or a Smith. So that's tough. If you can get away with a J.D. Davis, even maybe think about a Jeff McNeil, something like that. I know Alonso and Smith hurt probably the most, but that seems to be the expectation that would be Cleveland's ask of the Mets.
Yeah, that hurts. Sarah and then Rec, what do you think of that proposal?
Yeah, I think that it's really hard to assess what exactly we think the Indians are going to want. Obviously, Andy, like, great reporting there to hear that. But I just don't have a great sense of whether this team is really trying to rebuild from a trade like this or whether they're trying to remain competitive. They have Shane Bieber still. They have really good pitching. So it's really hard, like, in trying to assess my own sort of proposal, whether it should be more minor league focused or major league focused. But the part that I'm a little uncertain with Andy's proposal is when we have Jimenez and Rosario on that list. And I understand there have been very notable prospects for the Mets in the past, but these are the guys for the Mets, and only one of them is a shortstop, of course, who are actually on the MLB pipeline top 100. So it's across all teams. And it just feels like to get a Francisco Lindor, you need to be giving up a top 100 prospect. So if it's Mauricio and then maybe Alonso or Smith, then I could see that happening. But it doesn't really feel to me, based on what we know about the potential future for those players, that Rosario or Jimenez alone with one of those major leaguers would really be enough to get it done, just based on what we've seen with this high caliber player.
Well, I think with what the Indians have right now in that pitching, I'm not saying that they would be willing to take just two major leaguers, but I think if you start there and maybe add one or two pieces, type minor league guys, they might not have to be one of those top 100 guys. Maybe they would, kind of require one, but for me, if Jimenez is the shortstop that they want, and then they take, either Alonso or Smith, you're getting into that territory where it's like, wow, that's a lot. Because I really like this Jimenez kid. He's shown what he can do at the big league level, and he showed out very well this year. Defensively, I thought offensively, he handled himself a lot better than the reports had come in about him. So I think he is a potential future nice player.